Sanjay, Sarda. Welcome to the channel Kahanis Golden Bytes. Thank you for taking your time to be on the channel, Sanjay.
Thank you so much, Joby. My pleasure.
Thank you,
for
Sanjay.
hosting me.
Thank you, Sanjay, again. So, Sanjay, for the benefit of our viewers, may I please request you to give a little background about yourself, Sanjay?
Sure. My name is Sanjay Sharda. Basically, I am a mechanical engineer from BIT. I did my management from IIM Kolkata. And I've been around in the corporate world for about 35, 36 years. And after doing a lot of stints in companies where the domain expertise that I had was basically in strategic sourcing, supply chain management, efficiency enhancements. So after doing a lot of responsible roles in large corporates, I felt it is time that we do something which is different. So I moved on to the next stage of my life, which I think has been a very, very fruitful and a purposeful one. And that is by the grace of God through music.
So lovely, Sanjay. There's so much of depth that you come with. I'll, be able to cover only a little bit. And I know because you're short of time too. So Sanjay, you mentioned you were in the corporate sector after doing your MBA. Sanjay, which industries were you involved with, Sanjay, during your corporate journey?
Most of my stint has been in the infrastructure sector.
Okay.
With the Indian companies, basically cement, steel, stainless steel. So these has been most of my working experience in these companies.
And Sanjay, so you've been in the infrastructure space and in the with the Indian business houses, and the largest of them and the most prominent. And so Sanjay, since you joined that industry straight after your IIMs at Calcutta, right?
Yeah.
And since you towards the end, that landscape has, I guess, undergone changes since when you first joined there.
Yeah, now all the companies that I have worked have become multinationals.
Wow.
They have footprints across geographies. So the definition of multinational has now undergone change. So all the Indian big companies are multinationals. Lovely. And they have CEOs also of different nationalities. So that is one change that has happened. Of course, technology-wise, a revolution has happened in the way a business is being conducted. So that is another change that has, hit all the industries around. And third, the boundaries have ceased to exist. So there is no supply chain that you can think of which is not international. So in terms of supply chain, because I was basically focusing on supply chain, it has undergone a lot of change over the years that I have worked. Also, your market segments have now become, your target audience is the world, not particular geographies that your plant is located. So a lot of change has happened, and I think it is for the good. So India, has earned a lot of respect in the last 2 decades, particularly. So earlier, we used to be in awe of what the others are doing, but no longer so. We are at par, even better than the others in so many ways. So I think we can proudly say that Indian entrepreneurship has arrived. You can see the startup, world doing so well. So a lot of good things have happened, and I was happy to be a part of that change and see from where it is to where it is now. And I'm sure in the time to come, this trend will continue, and we will have much more, good things happening.
Fantastic. Lovely that you were part of that journey, Sanjay. Lovely to hear that. Sanjay, you mentioned something, and music, and may I tell you that that's when I first got to read about you, and that's what got me to reach out to you, and you were gracious enough to accept this invitation. Sanjay, this is an article that appeared in Forbes, and Would you like to share with the viewers what that article was and what I'm, alluding to, Sanjay?
Sure. So after working long years in the corporate life, I was recuperating due to a knee surgery, and during that time, I felt that so many years in the corporate life has happened, and I was, interested in music right from the school days. I was able to play some instruments. I was playing it also in school, college days. So, but during that time when I was recuperating, I thought maybe music can have a much more purposeful goal than just entertainment or just as a time pass. So during that time I thought I was learning the santoor from my guruji at that time. So I thought maybe uh, if I can use music and try to turn it around into reaching out to people, so it could add some happiness in their lives, give them some kind of a connect to the inner selves. And slowly, when I divulged this to my bosses, the immediate reaction was that kya gana bajana karega tum. So I insisted that give me a 3 month sabbatical and I may come back. uh, my first 3 months, I opened some academies. There was, at that point of time, even now, you have
Amazing.
social media addicted kids, bored housewives, and corporate stressed, people uh, learning to, do something in music. So I was able to give a channel to them to learn music in a good way. And slowly the academies started to increase, and I started to see a lot of good things happening, particularly with the autistic kids that we had in the academy. So we did a lot of good work on them, and the happiness I could see on the faces of the parents was something which was really satisfying. So then because being in the corporate, you start having a mindset which is a bit corporatized. So I was trying to link music as a employee engagement, employee retention tool, uh, which was possible to be done in some corporates. We had done in Noida, in Gurgaon. So by that time, a lot of press releases were coming, featuring my journey, Economic Times, Times, Times of India. So I was, reasonably, a bit surprised that after working so many years trying to do good work, there was no such intense coverage. Then just doing this and getting a lot of coverage. So that was I was getting that. So just as a anecdote, I will just mention I once asked the journalist that what is it that you find so interesting in me that you're trying to see my journey year on year. So she said that if I just give you a heading that a cat is sitting on a mat, this might not be of any interest to you. But if I say that the cat is sitting on a dog's mat, so it suddenly becomes the headline news. So this is what is happening. So I could understand it. Okay, maybe I am sitting on a dog's mat. So I said, okay, this is something which I need to sit on more, and I did something which was more. And then after that, the music journey happened in the startup domain. So there was an incubator accelerator opportunity that I got to open up in Calcutta. So I left my academies to the managers who were running it and said that okay, I have been again called to the corporate world, but this time I will not leave music. So even the incubator accelerator, we had a music academy inbuilt in it. So hopefully, if you see the videos at the end of it, it is all with the startups. So there is a music connect which was possible after doing long hours at work. So you could do that. So I was doing that, and then there was another turning point in the music journey when the pandemic, March, April 2020 hit, and suddenly there was people stuck up at home. There were a lot of uncertainty, and people were not able to find out avenues to do, some kind of a work that will give them some kind of a sense of achievement. So I was able to, tap on to my musical abilities and try to, at that point of time, I decided to do one video every day for 50 days. So starting from April, May, 2020. So there are 50 videos I made. So after the pandemic subsided and situations turned a bit normal, I again thought that let me continue this, and I thought the YouTube channel is one good medium that you can reach out to people. So my immediate connect is of course with my the first line of relationships that I have. So they became the subscribers. So very soon, the YouTube channel started getting some kind of a visibility outside, and that's the time Forbes connected with me, saying that you are doing something which is different. So I was able to see that although you have you have career, you have health, you have relationships. So these I thought were aspects in which the balance has to be particularly correct. Unless there is a balance in one, you have tend to become the others are messed up. So in the absence of that, there was a problem in getting the balance corrected. So when even if there's a balance, you need a purpose in your life, and the purpose in my life became music, and how to able to deliver meaningful content in a musical form. So that is how the Forbes connected with me, and I was featured. Thank you.
Amazing, amazing, Sanjay. I mean, there was so much in that, so much in that. So, Sanjay, you mentioned the santoor. Okay. So, when did you start learning the santoor?
I'm still learning. 2007 is the time I first heard the instrument live because in Calcutta I was there, so you are able to see a lot of audience as audience performances. So I was fascinated by the sound of it, and then I came back and started to see where I could get a guruji. So finally, my guruji is a PhD in santoor in Delhi University. So I could convince him somehow to, he doesn't do it normally with students, particularly not with the corporate guys. So I somehow convinced him to get it with me, and I somehow had a connect with the instrument. So I'm doing it from the Sufi Gharana. So I really felt that there is a way in which you can connect to a supreme power or to your inner self through this instrument, and that is how I started to learn, and my progress was reasonably good, and slowly it progressed. I'm in fact still learning, no way near any way that I can be. I have no idea of becoming a professional, but yes, there are friends and known people who sometimes tell me, okay, let's have a performance. So I just look forward to those occasions.
So Sanjay, some of the things that strike me is one, you weren't in school or college when you started learning this instrument. You were older than that. You weren't because it's in the younger age when you're fearless, you jump in and you want to learn, try out something, and you don't hesitate. So you're in your corporate world, as you mentioned, and your guruji did consider you take some time, but it started much later. That is one. The other thing that strikes me is, Sanjay, you've also, while your learning is always continuous, you've played on the big stage too. You have your own YouTube channel, and you've played various other instruments too on the big stage, right, Sanjay? You enjoy it thoroughly.
Yeah, I really do. So santoor is my instrument of choice, but the audiences I was getting in santoor were a bit limited. So, and particularly when I was with the startup crowd, I still am, and with the younger crowd. So I thought if I have to connect to them, so I have to go on learning new instruments. So I made a decision to go on learning new instruments. So at this moment, maybe I know about 10, 11 of them, mostly percussion in addition to santoor.
Fantastic, so fantastic.
I always think, Joby, that it's not adding years to your life that is important. You have to add life to your years. And what better than music to add?
Amazing.
So even today, I am learning, from a new Guruji, tabla. So maybe sometime later, I will post some videos for tabla. So that is,
Sanjay, it's such a pleasure listening to you that each of these sentences that you're, dishing out, I feel like having a full talk show on just each of the sentences. That's the kind of depth that you're bringing to this conversation. And Sanjay, I won't take more of your time. I know I have taken a lot of your time, but I'm going to add, towards the end of this clip, a montage of you. But anything, before that, Sanjay, any, views to our viewers, anything that you'd like to share? Is it good? Has it, you've enjoyed it, but you think it's good that people have some sort of a hobby or something like that, Sanjay?
yeah, I think, Ravi, thanks for asking this. I think everyone is uniquely gifted by God. And it is, our aim to find what is the gift that we have been born with. And, a purposeful life is only when you have found that gift. So once you have found that gift, it is now you have to, spread it on to others. So you can only spread it because happiness is only by giving it. So many people don't know their gifts. So I would urge people to find out what their gifts is, and there are some videos in the YouTube channels you can also look at. So it will give you some idea of that. So if you know what your gift is, and if you are able to share it in a way in which your purpose of life is achieved, that will give you a lot of happiness. The way I am getting that, and I will look forward to getting more musically oriented souls aligned with me, so that we can together do this journey. So I would love to take the opportunity of welcoming all musically aligned souls to become, because there is no age to learn music. You are blessed with it as and when you want. So that is my only wish.
Lovely, Sanjay. Thank you so much for your time, for your views. I'm also going to put the link of your YouTube channel below, so that those of the viewers who are interested could see some of the deeper aspects, and especially on the music side, and your positivity that you just dish out, you roll out through your channel. Once again, Sanjay, thank you so much for taking your time to be on the channel.
Thank you. Pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Sanjay.